We wanted to consolidate that ownership of the asset, bring it under one umbrella, and importantly, have it dual listed. The North American market knows and loves Victorian high-grade gold, having made $10 billion of market cap appreciation and enjoyed that through the Fosterville story from Northgate to Agnico over 7 or 8 years.
Welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Michael Hudson. He is the CEO of Southern Cross Gold. And Michael, it's good to see you. How are you?
It's been a while, Steve. Lovely to be back in your part of the world.
Absolutely. Well, good to have you along, and exciting times for you as you are now the CEO of these two merged companies, and that's sort of the genesis behind Southern Cross Gold. So I'll let you explain what's going on here.
Yeah, so this is an asset called Sunday Creek, one of the best gold discoveries in the space, literally over the last few years. We had it in a TSX company called Mawson Gold, and we spun it out about 2.5 years ago onto the ASX. Mawson became a major shareholder of the Australian company, which was called Southern Cross Gold. And for the last 2.5 years, we've been drilling. We put 70 or 80 kilometers of drilling in. It's become, like I said, one of the most exciting gold and antimony projects. So it's got that strategic metal component as well, and a very significant contributor to the Western world it will become. Anyhow, we ended up having the shares escrowed in Mawson for a couple of years by the ASX, and we had this structure that was 50-50 ownership essentially on the Australian side and the Canadian side through that ownership, which wasn't really the intent nor the aim to go forward. So we wanted to consolidate that ownership of the asset, bring it under one umbrella, and importantly, have it dual listed. The North American market knows and loves Victorian high-grade gold, having made $10 billion of market cap appreciation and enjoyed that through the Fosterville story from Northgate to Agnico over 7 or 8 years. And we had all the ownership there through Mawson. So we merged the two companies essentially through a scheme of arrangement. That's just winding up literally today. Our Computershare are going to deliver all the stock to the relevant shareholders in Australia. And we have 100% ownership of the asset in Southern Cross Gold Consolidated, which trades as SXGC on the Venture exchange over there. And then we've got SX2 here in Australia, which is CDIs, but that's the dual listed part.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Sunday Creek. You mentioned it's obviously an asset that you know a lot about. So talk to me a bit about, you mentioned the work that's gone on there. So what stage is it at right now then?
So it's still very much an advanced exploration play. Like I said, we put 70 or 80 kilometers of drilling into it over the last few years. From a hit rate point of view, if you look at a 100 gram meter hit rate, we're better than pretty much anything else on Earth that I can see. So it's very good discovery from that point of view. We've drilled it out over 1.5 kilometers down to 1 kilometer. Some of the most extremely high grade hits, intersections that the industry has seen, and now we're starting to pull it together. We put initial exploration target out last year, and our expectations are that we're heading towards 3 million ounces at around 10 grams per ton is our aim, not our resource, but that's our aim to drill it out. So we're making it bigger before we narrow down. We got 5 rigs there today and have had continuous drilling over the last 18 months with that many rigs. We're bringing another rig in the next week and another, ideally, couple of rigs in the next quarter. Done all the met work, initial work. It's tick boxes, a lot of the baseline data, etc. We're looking to permit a decline into it over the year and take it, I suppose, from a very large discovery to de-risking it, but we're only looking at about 10% so far of the trend. So very much there's a lot more to come from a discovery point of view. So it's overlapping Lassonde curves, if you like. As we find and advance one part of it, we'll continue the exploration along the larger trend.
So are you talking reports then you're hoping to produce this year on there?
Yeah, we've gone out of our way to say that we're not going to go to a resource too early
Okay.
because we've demonstrated how it hangs together. We're running an internal resource, of course, and we've come out with the exploration target, which is constrained by drilling. But it's the fine balance of cost of capital, drilling it out, windows of opportunity with the government to permit it, which we believe the Victorian government is very much wanting to permit this project for us. So we've got to take all those matters into account as we deal with this very significant discovery and deal with it most appropriately with the highest cost of capital that we, or sorry, the lowest cost of capital that we can. So we don't drill it out with a very high cost of capital too early is the point.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Mm.
Michael, antimony, talk to me a bit about that for people not familiar with it. Hot commodity these days.
Yeah, so this project, Sunday Creek, will be is fairly much already one of the top three ex-China, Russia antimony projects globally. It's very significant. Yet it's only about 20% of the in situ value of the rock, recoverable value. So that's important. 80% gold. We say 80% of the gold will pay for it, and 20% of the antimony will help permit it. Antimony is one of the many critical metals, but China and Russia control 80+% of the supply chain. China's just put bans on selling outside of China. Back in September, there was restrictions, bans in December, and it's industrially used as a flame retardant, and 20% goes into solar cells. But what makes it critical is it's used as in the primer for anything that goes bang from bullets to rockets. And essentially, you don't have a munitions supply chain without antimony. So the Western
Hmm,
world is scrambling.
absolutely. Well, Michael, congratulations on this exciting times ahead. It sounds like it's going to be another busy year for you and the team, and I appreciate your time today. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, there's Michael Hudson, the CEO of Southern Cross Gold.